Hello fellow stackers, 365 here, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we're going to be comparing a 1 ounce piece of gold versus 31 1 gram pieces of gold. Now I know technically 31.1 grams makes 1 troy ounce, but for the purpose of this video we're going to be comparing 31 grams. Now, before we go any further, I'm not a financial advisor, so do always make your own investment decisions. This is purely my opinion, and it's the pros and cons, in my opinion, to buying both items. Now, let's get straight into the video. Now, the first thing that you can already see is storage space. Now, when you buy a 1 ounce gold coin, for example, it is fairly easy to store. Now, this is only 15 1 gram pieces of gold. So let me top it up to 31. And you can really see that storage could become quite a big concern if you're looking to stack gold for a number of years. Now, if we add these two 1 gram gold coins, that takes it up to 31 grams of gold. So you can see that storage wise it is a lot harder to store 31 individual grams of gold, especially when they arrive in these blister packs versus the 1 ounce coin, for example. So storage is something you need to take into consideration if you decide to purely stack fractional gold. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is sellability. Now, when you come to sell your gold in the future, if you just have a 1 ounce gold coin, you've only got to find one buyer, you've only got to pay postage once, you've only got to package it up once, and once you've sold it, you have sold your whole entire holding of gold. However, if you have 31 individual grams of gold, you've pretty much got to find 31 buyers, obviously unless someone buys more than one. But let's just say you've got to find 31 individual buyers. There's a lot more work involved with that. There's a lot more postage cost and packaging cost and a lot more time. So that could be something to think about. It's a lot harder to find 31 buyers versus one buyer. Now, if the price of gold continues to rise like it has done over the course of the last 100 or so years, how easy do you think it's going to be able to sell a whole ounce of gold? And that's the next thing I want you to think about. If these are already £1,650, fast forward, say, 20 years, say this was £3,000, 2.5 grand, whatever it may be, how easy is it going to be to find a buyer to pay that sort of money for one item? So that is definitely something to consider. On the other hand, it will be a lot easier, in my opinion, to shift 1 gram gold. It's suitable for everyone's budget. And even if these shot up to say £200 per gram, it's still a lot easier to find someone willing to part with £200 than it is to part with a couple of £1,000. So that is definitely something to think of. If you're looking to stack gold for a number of years and you think that gold is going to continue to rise like it has done over the course of the last 100 years or so, how easy is it going to be to find a buyer for your larger piece of gold? Now, something else to consider is if you wanted to sell only some of your stack and you only had a 1 ounce gold coin, you haven't got that option. You're forced to sell a whole ounce in one go. However, if you had more fractional pieces, you could just sell maybe 3 or 4 individual 1 gram gold bars to get some cash to tide you over or whatever you needed it for, and you can hold on to the other bulk majority of it. So you've got more flexibility in terms of picking how much you want to liquidate. You don't have to sell a huge 1 ounce piece of gold all in one go. If you just need a small amount of cash, you have got the option to sell a couple of these bars to get a bit of cash in. Now, the next thing is how much does it cost in total? Now, we've already touched upon the price of the 1 ounce gold Britannia. And like I said, at time of filming, that is worth £1,650 and 82 pence. Now, I've tallied all of these up, and these were obviously all slightly different prices because I've bought them at different times. They're all from different mints and they all contain slightly different premiums. But I've tallied them all up, And in total, the 31 grams of gold that you can see on the screen today cost me a grand total of £2,008.54. Now, in my last video, a number of you had a guess. No one actually got it exact, but there was a number of people that got it fairly close. So you can see that the premium you're going to be paying if you're buying individual 1 gram pieces of gold compared to the 1 ounce is very, very high. Now, that is actually a difference in premium of 19.551%. So you're paying almost 20% more if you was to buy it in this form versus a whole ounce in one go. Now, in terms of money, that is £357.72. So you could save yourself £350 by buying a larger item. So again, there's pros and cons to both. You can save money by buying the whole ounce, but you haven't got as much flexibility if you do it that way. Now, the next thing to do with price is your budget. Now, if you're someone that's not very good at saving and you can't save up enough money to be able to buy a whole ounce because you keep spending it and you're just not very disciplined when it comes to putting money aside and waiting for that money to grow to be able to buy one of these could be a great option because you could buy maybe one of these each month and gradually build up your stack that way. So it's almost like dollar cost averaging into gold instead of having to save up for a whole ounce. And also, if you think the price of gold is going to continue to rise over the next few months and you're trying to save up for one of these, you might be missing out some of the lower prices of the spot price of gold. So if, for example, you're buying one of these every single month, you're getting a nice dollar cost average when you're buying, instead of waiting to buy a whole ounce and then they might be going up and up and up and then you're going to end up paying a lot more. So that's something to consider also. Now, there's one last thing to take into consideration, and that is in certain parts of Europe, you're not allowed to spend over a certain amount of cash. So already in some parts of Europe, you're not able to pick up a whole ounce of gold using cash because by law, you're not allowed to spend more than a certain amount. And this is over the threshold for some parts of Europe. Now, for those people that want to buy precious metals off the books and off the radar, and they want to make their purchases with cash, they're going to be forced to go to the smaller denominators of gold. Because like I said, they're not able to physically go to a whole ounce using cash. So they'll be forced to use bank transfer or debit card or credit card or whatever it may be. And therefore it would be on the system and it would be tracked. Now, for those people, and there's lots of people out there that like having their precious metals completely off of the books and they like buying out all their purchases from the coin shops using cash, so it's not tracked back to them. Like I said, they're going to be forced to pick up these smaller pieces of gold. So therefore, these could be quite attractive for people that want to still purchase their precious metals using cash. Now, let me know what you think about all those points in the comment section below. I know a lot of people are still on the fence about the 1 gram gold bars. They still don't like the high premiums that they contain. But I hope there's quite a few positives in this video to make you reconsider, because as you can see, I do think that they're quite an important part of your stack. And it's definitely nice to be diversified with some smaller fractional gold. So as always, thanks very much for all the support. Thanks for watching my videos. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for sharing. I really, really do appreciate it. We've nearly hit 7,000 subscribers, which is insane. I've only had the channel for around about 6 or 7 months. So really, really insane growth. So yeah, thanks for everyone that's been following along and supporting my channel. And as always, I hope you have a nice day.